So originally I teased that Jon Jones had a video release where he said that the UFC is working on him and Tom's fight. We're gonna still watch that clip, but we also got Tom Aspinall going on Good Guy, Bad Guy. We're not gonna watch the full interview. I will leave everything linked down below. I highly recommend you go watch it all. But enough is enough. Tom Aspinall deserves his shot to be undisputed champ. Volkov deserves to have another chance at the title before he retires. Jailton Almeida deserves to have the opportunity to fight for the heavyweight title. The division is dead, dude. Can name me 5 heavyweights right now. In the comments down below, go name 5 heavyweights. Don't go on UFC.com, don't go on Tapology. Name me 5 ranked heavyweights right now. Go ahead. Now, let's get into it. I'm going to start off with this video that came out on Happy Punch, and this is a little, I don't know what it is, seminar, whatever it may be in Thailand, because we know it, Jon Jones, the heavyweight champion, is currently in Thailand filming a Russian Ultimate Fighter and posting a lot of very questionable videos. I never, touch upon the pool video. That one was weird. But, yeah.
Fighting Tom.
I was waiting for it. Where are you from? Like, governor. The UFC in town, we all got a lot of stuff happening behind the scenes. They're one of the biggest organizations in sports, and right now Tom and I have agreed to wait for the UFC to make their announcements. So I legally can't really talk about it.
This is all we wanted from Jon Jones, and I get it. He was trolling. I identified that sooner than most people did. But again, this is all he had to say. This is all the UFC had to say. Is that, hey, I'm in negotiations. I can't really say much. Cool. You said that Dana White announced the fight for MSG because they know it's going to be an MSG. I heard that some people thought it'd be Guadalajara. Some people thought it'd be Saudi Arabia. We know he's only going to fight New York. My ear is itchy. But why does it take half a year, 9 months? Thank you to whoever subscribed. I really appreciate it. Those of you watching right now, if you haven't done that, go ahead and do that. Because I've got a lot of good videos coming up here in the next few weeks. But after that, we had this posted today. Good Guy, Bad Guy, DC Chael Sonnen, they have Tom Aspinall on his show. And he gives a lot of updates here. But again, why does Tom Aspinall get no promotion from the UFC whatsoever? Why does Dana White never want to say Tom Aspinall's name in any interview? In any question he is asked, he never says Tom's name. He only says the fights are going to get done. He will say Jon Jones' name. He will hype up Jon Jones as the greatest of all time. But he will never say the name of Tom Aspinall. I wonder why.
Filmed the 3 episodes, and I'm about to go back to the gym right after this.
Well, you're a busy man. It feels like you're training for something, but obviously it don't seem like you can, get the guy to fight. Tom, we're getting straight to it. I mean, what are we waiting for? It sounds to me, recently I saw an interview where it said you and John are aligned, and you guys have decided together to allow for the UFC to tell you what you're doing. Is that true?
Nah, man, John's retired. What are we talking about, guys?
This is
Which he did. The clip came out of him on the phone with Buddy saying, nah, I'm done, man. I'm done. And, that could have meant, hey, I'm done. You're playing with me. But a lot of people took that as, I'm done fighting. I'm just holding on to this belt so I can get extra business, so I have the title of UFC Heavyweight Champion under my name. While Tom Aspinall is 30 years old, 31, around there, beat every other contender but Silgon and Jolton Almeida, which we're going to get into who I think he could be fighting next. What the fuck are we doing? Why are we wasting one of the most talented heavyweights, one of the most talented fighters, period? Tom Aspinall can do it all. Tom Aspinall is a big dude. He's fast. He's powerful. He can grapple. If you have the ability to grapple in the heavyweight division, you can make it to the top 5 with your eyes closed. And that's a legitimate thing.
John, you guys don't follow John on social media?
I don't follow him on social media. He said that.
No, me too, actually. Me too. But the guy is living his best life. He's had a fantastic career. We all know. We know John's a religious man, so I want to say God bless him moving forward in what he does with his life and his career. And we move on. We move on. I'm the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. I'm ready to take on all comers, get this division moving again. Us guys have been waiting around too long. The contenders are getting sick of it.
Chao's loving this, dude. Chao loves this. This is what we wanted to see from Tom Aspinall. Like, he was very respectful over, I would say, like, the last a year, really. And the whole clip of the press conference that Jon Jones did at UFC 309. I don't like Tom Aspinall. He's smug. He's rude. How? It's a fight game, John. You get that. What about you in DC?
Everybody's getting sick of it. Even the fans are getting sick of this stuff. So John's retired and it's time that we move on.
This is the greatest promo I've ever heard. He just announced his nemesis's retirement. And to add to it, Daniel, he wished him well. Now, that's not something you would do of an enemy. That's something you would do of a former foe. So perhaps we are in the presence of the undisputed champion.
Classic Chael explanation right here.
I mean, he said he was, after all. And let me tell you something that Tom is. Not only is he a champion, he's the active champion. I think they should talk about that. He's the only champion we got that wants to fight. He's the only one champion. He's the ready champion. He's the in-camp champion. He's the on-weight champion. I mean, not for nothing. He's the licensed champion. He got every damn championship you can have except the undisputed belt, Daniel. Our industry does owe Tom something better than we're giving him right now.
Tom, did you, chill. I agree with you. But Tom, did you, you're announcing his retirement. He said that he wasn't sure, Tom, but obviously he said you guys are aligned. You spoke and said the UFC is going to let you go what's next. So when you guys were speaking about what the UFC is going to do, are you guys just kind of figuring out when he's going to announce the retirement and let you move forward and get the division going again?
Guys, come on. You guys are veterans of the sport. If one guy's thinking about retiring, he's retired.
Yeah.
I ain't thinking about retiring. I'm thinking about getting this division active, making the heavyweight division great again, getting these big fights in, fighting these contenders who are sat on the sidelines waiting for, over a year at this point.
That's a champion. That's a champion mentality. That's what I wanted to see from Jon Jones. You know why? Do you know why heavyweight meant so much for me for Jon Jones' career? And I've said this in every video. It was his chance to go on a run without controversy, get the heavyweight belt, defend it, beat out all the criticisms. So at the end of his career, when he would retire, whether it be after Tom Aspinall or after another one or two more fights, we could say, hey, you know what? Jon Jones has a very rocky track record. He popped multiple times. They moved venues for him. They did all of this stuff. But what is it now? Did the end of Jon Jones' career? Yeah, he beat a 43-year-old Stipe who was retired, broke his ribs. I mean, he submitted Cyril Gane instantly to win the belt. That was good. But he absolutely stalled the division, the heavyweight division, which needs movement so we can get the right contenders with the ranks. We get the guys that should be up there at the top 5 position, at the top 10 position. We'll fight a little bit more.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm here to fight, man. I have never. I see a lot of people online, and I know you guys have had debates about it. I know all the YouTube guys are debating about it all the time. Like, I'm not looking to fight Jon Jones. I'm looking to fight for the Undisputed Heavyweight Champion. That's what I want to be. I want to be the UFC Undisputed Heavyweight Champion. I'm not. I see a lot of people, you know, comparing me to Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler waited for a long time for Conor McGregor and stuff.
And that's different. Michael Chandler was looking for the biggest money fight of his career. Tom Aspinall needs to fight Jon Jones. Unless the UFC strips him. Now, what are we at for time here? 12 minutes. We'll go like another minute or two. And then the John McCarthy thing is the main thing here.
Great.
I'm not waiting for one fight. I'm not trying to fight one guy. I'm trying to fight all the guys. I'm trying to be the guy at heavyweight who takes out everybody. And it doesn't matter who it is. Cyril Gane, Volkov rematch, Almeida, Derek Lewis, Brock Lesnar, whoever it is. I don't care. I want to.
Even called out Brock fucking Lesnar. What a G. But I will leave this video link down below. You can watch it. It's not the full video, so if you want, you can just watch the interview. And, you know, that's it. That's what I did. Now, this came up. And this is the biggest thing that I want to stress. I saw MMA Guru made his video last night. And this comes from the Weighing In podcast. I found this clip. It's easier for me to watch this and talk about this very serious allegation here. I will leave the full Weighing In podcast link down below if you want to go watch it, but pay very close attention to this.
And there's an individual there, and that individual was a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and was working for the commission.
Okay, so he says this was okay, for context. This was during the Machida fight. John McCarthy was the referee. Every referee before their fights, they'll get their assignments the night of, and usually they'll go into the back, talk to the fighters, see how they're doing, answer any questions. If it's legal, if you know this is legal, if that's legal. But this is insane.
And he says, "Is someone getting on the ground for me?" Right, and so this guy, being a ground guy, and being someone that was, man, I'm in Jon Jones's locker room. This is great. And so he says, "Oh, I'll do it for you." He says, "You know, I know how to roll." And so he goes down. He says, just put me in guard, right?" And then John decides to do a sexual act with him. He says, I need somebody. And there's an individual there, and that individual was a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Jon Jones performed a sexual act on a random guy he didn't know right before the fight. Like, all the jokes don't matter. This is a very serious allegation. And he did this right before a fight. Now, we don't know what act it was. But again, for that guy who was in the locker room, didn't know Jon Jones, was probably excited to be in a room with Jon, and he gets assaulted. You see the caption there? Jon Jones is a P. Diddy of MMA. MMA Guru made some hilarious jokes in his video. I highly recommend you go check that out if you haven't already. He's been the one on top of Jon Jones. He's been the one to expose the fact that he bats for the same team. Now, I want to be careful. Actually, fuck it. We'll far into the video. Jon Jones is gay. Or at least acting very, very flamboyant. Remember the UFC 309 post-big press conference? The little dance? The lisp that he had? Go, if you have Fight Pass, go watch this that fight. If you don't, you can find the interview online. It's just, UFC copyright and all that. Go watch it. I was watching with my friend, and my friend, to quote my best friend, Jon Jones was very zesty. But let's continue.
And was working for the commission. And he says, "Is someone getting on the ground for me?" Right. And so this guy, being a ground,
He worked for the commission too. Now we know the saga, Jon Jones versus Athletic Commission. We know the history of it. What the fuck?
ground guy, and being someone that was, man, I'm in Jon Jones's locker room. This is great. And so he says, "Oh, I'll do it for you." He says, I know how to roll." And so he goes down. He says, just put me in guard, right? And then Jon decides to do a sexual act with him. He says, I need somebody. And there's an individual there, and that individual was a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and was working for the commission. And he says, "Is someone getting on the ground for me?" Right. And
Right there. Working for the commission. You heard it right from John McCarthy's mouth. The guy that made the unified rules, by the way. I want to point that out there.
so this guy, being a ground guy and being someone that was, man, I'm in Jon Jones's locker room. This is great. And so he says, "Oh, I'll do it for you." He says, I know how to roll. And so he goes down.
I think I'm replaying the same video, the same clip. But again, I really want to get this into your mind. This is very serious.
He says, just put me in guard, right? And then Jon decides to do a sexual act with him.
Decides to do a sexual act with him. Look at the comments, dude. MMA Guru was right all along. What the fuck? Jon Jones, this your boy. Sean Bones Combs. That's hilarious. I'm so glad MMA pages are spreading this. It's not even a joke. Okay. Let's see the hidden comments. How is that hidden? Disgusting. But now we have Jon Jones being labeled the P. Diddy of MMA. What the fuck are we doing here? What the fuck are we doing, UFC? What are we doing, Dana White, Sean Shelby, Hunter Campbell, TKO, Endeavor, ESPN? You now have your biggest fighter refusing to fight Tom up until Pereira loses, and it's my only option, I guess. I decided not to retire, and a lot of people believe that he's just gonna drag it out, the place and get signed, and then he'll pull out. I bring this up every video I do about Jon Jones. Now, I hate to transition to this from those serious allegations. But again, Tapology has Tom Aspinall ranked the #1 heavyweight in the world. This is MMA rankings. Jon Jones, #2. Alexander Volkov, who again came out recently and said, I don't think I'll be able to fight for the unified belt before I retire. Still gone on a 2-fight winning streak after robbing Volkov. Curtis Blades got knocked out by Tom Aspinall last year in Manchester when Tom Aspinall defended the belt. You got Sergey Pavlovich, who just had a very shitty fight with Rosenstrike. Lost to Volkov by decision. Got knocked out by Almeida. When Tom Aspinall won the belt 2 years ago at MSG, Gelson Almeida on a 2-fight winning streak. One of my favorite heavyweights. He's big for the division, very athletic, really good grappler. Francis Ngannou, the guy that Jon Jones ducked. Well, we know everything around Francis now. It's not good, but I mean, again, that's a whole other situation. Shamil Gaziev moving his way up. He did get DK'd by Rosenstrike. Pavlovich, I don't see him making it there. Tybura. Derek Lewis, who Tom wouldn't mind fighting. Big name in the heavyweight division. Most knockouts in UFC history. Vadim Nemkov is there, but I mean, he's in Bellator, I think. Wow. For now, Gotsev Acosta is fighting Spivak this week to a loss on a 5-fight losing streak. We're still ranked in the top 10 in the actual rankings. Rosenstrike is outside the UFC now. Denise, you got Kennedy Njokuani, who moved up to the heavyweight division after he lost to Jacoby and OSP. Looks really good in the heavyweight division. We'll see if he's able to make it in the top. Mick Parkin just lost. Alexander Romanov is on a 2-fight win streak. Renan Ferreira's in PFL, but you look at all these names, and as important as the top of the heavyweight division is, the unranked guys are just as important. The unranked guys are the ones who progress the heavyweight division, advance the heavyweight division, changes what it means to be a heavyweight. We can be having athletic heavyweights again instead of a bunch of fat guys in a cage with, a bit of power, and their only shot at winning is a big shot. But I wanted to go through all these stories today, especially the situation, the story that John McCarthy shared. I think that's the most important one. I think I'll even leave timestamps too throughout this video. But this is getting serious. Tom Aspinall deserves his title shot. Jon Jones is making a mockery of the heavyweight title, the heavyweight division, and the UFC is saying nothing about it. The UFC isn't even promoting one of the most promotable stars they have. Or signed a deal with champion, they refuse to promote Tom Aspinall. But let me know what you think about all of these stories around Jon Jones. What do you think is next? Like, how long will the UFC wait for Jon Jones? And what does Jon Jones have against the UFC and Dana White? Like, I genuinely think he has pictures of Dana White at this point. But let me know your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching. Later.